Have you ever thought that a simple Christmas carol could be dangerous? For Ukrainians living under Soviet occupation after the war, Christmas wasn't just a holiday, it was an act of bravery. While the world rejoiced in the birth of the Savior, militant atheism ruled in Ukraine. The Soviet authorities tried to erase God from the people's memory. Christmas was made a regular working day, and the Star of Bethlehem was replaced by the ideological Red Star. But you cannot kill faith with an order if it lives in the heart. After 1945, religious life was targeted by the KGB, the ruthless Soviet secret police. The Stalinist regime realized faith cannot be destroyed by force, so it must be controlled. That's why the Orthodox Church was chosen as the only official structure. It was a political calculation. One centralized church was easier to control and infiltrate with spies. At this time, the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church was brutally liquidated and believers were forced to change their denominations. Those who resisted, Orthodox, Catholics, or Protestants, faced the same fate. Protestant communities were persecuted with particular cruelty. They were branded with derogatory word sectarians. In Soviet propaganda, this meant enemy of the people, fanatic, or a dangerous element. It was a label that justified any violence. For a single found Bible or a secret prayer, thousands of Ukrainians were sent away for decades. They were sent to the freezing labor camps of Siberia and the Gulag, the brutal Soviet prison system. But even there, in sub-zero temperatures and behind barbed wire, believers continued to gather. They whispered thought about the birth of Christ, because his light was stronger than the darkness of the barracks. Those who remained in Ukraine performed their own feat. Imagine, night, windows covered with heavy blankets so neighbors wouldn't see the candlelight on the table. Despite the risk of arrest, groups of believers cautiously went from house to house. They carried the good news. Each carol was a quiet sermon. Dictators come and go, but God is eternal. The symbol of this resilience became the famous Shadrach by Mykola Leontovich. Although the composer was murdered by a Soviet agent back in 1921, his music became immortal. The whole world knows it as a Carol of the Bells, but for us it is the voice of the Ukrainian soul. When Shadrach was secretly sang in a cold house, the walls of the system seemed to crumble. By thinking about the newborn king, Ukrainians affirmed their dignity and freedom. Believers used to say, "You can take our freedom and send us to Siberia, but you cannot take Christ out of our hearts." Today, many Ukrainian communities here in Canada exist thanks to those who once escaped these persecutions. When we sing carols freely today, we must remember the price of every word. We are the ears of those who kept the light in the darkest times. Let us remember our history. Let us protect our faith. Let the Ukrainian carol sound throughout the world as a hymn of life's victory over death. Christ is born. Glorify Him.